rollers, let's go ahead and get started. For this video, I am actually going to do some sublimation projects, mainly just these bookmarks to get us started. Now, I am going to take you over to Design Space to do the whole process to show you how I do my sublimation, but I wanted to let you guys know one disclaimer. I usually don't use Design Space to do my sublimation. I am very much more familiar with Silhouette Studio, which is the Cameo programming. So I went ahead and taught myself how to use Cricut's Design Space. Oh my gosh, they're so confusing because the names are very similar. But I'm hoping that with all, for those that are new to sublimation, or even for those that are currently using sublimation, that I'm able to show you guys a few tips and tricks that I use for how I sublimate. So like I said, I'm going to do these 2 metal bookmarks. I'm going to be using, you can use either your sublimation paper. This is the more common one, but since I'm doing a smaller project, I'm actually going to go down to a smaller paper. So this one is a 4 by 9.5 piece. So if you're not familiar with that, they do sell it in a much smaller size than the 8.5. So that way I don't have to waste as much paper. But if I decide to do more than 2, then I'll use this one. So we'll see. And then of course I have my butcher paper as well. I always use stuff that's already pre-cut so that I don't have as much waste as possible. All right, so with all those disclaimers out of the way, let's go ahead and move into Design Space. Cricut Design Space. I'm gonna just go ahead and click on this one right here where it says My Stuff, because that's already where I have everything pre-done, where all my ideas are. So you should be familiar with this one. It doesn't actually change much. So I'm gonna click on this first bookmark because it's a little more detail what I want to show you on here. So let's hit customize and then let this open up. And these are the 2 that I'm going to probably do today. So one of the ways that you can do this one is you're just going to click on upload, and then here's the image right here, and you'll just basically upload that image, add to canvas, and then add this one. Now my bookmark template, I did not create this. It's very easy. You can just use a shape to do it, but I tend to be somewhat of a, I want to say, work smarter, not harder type of person. So if I can find a template for something that I'm working on, I usually go on there. And I usually use Design Bundles or Creative Fabrica to find a lot of my templates that I'm working on, as well as my sublimation designs on there. So if you have those 2, you can always do that. And I think Cricut Design Space might also have basic templates like this, so you can try to go on there to use that. All right, so mine is already set for 2 by 7, so I can always just go on the size, unlock it, and do it 2 by 7. Make sure that you measure yours to make sure that it fits perfectly. Now I'm just going to sit mine in here, and just do no, didn't want to do that. Just do select all, which you can just select it all together, or use this panel on the side. And then we're just going to align center, and that'll fit there. Now if you want to make sure that it's actually perfect, you can always, let me move this to the side, change this to a guide by using operation and change it to a guide. That way you can actually make sure that it actually fits perfectly, and there it does. All right, so we're going to change this back to a basic cut and leave that as is. So center, align this again to center, and there, that fits that. So for now I'm going to delete this one because we won't need it anymore. And now another method that you can use, if say for instance you have an image that you want to upload, we're going to do that as well. So what I have here is I'm going to upload 2 separate images from here. But I'm not going to do them as an image upload. We're going to do both of them as a pattern fill. So if you go onto here, let's say you want to do a digital paper that you've downloaded from Creative Fabrica or wherever you want to download from. So you go here, pattern fill, and then you upload the pattern. So I am just going to, for instance, drag and drop this first one, and then we'll work from there after that. So I'm just going to hit upload because I don't need to do anything else after that. And then I'm going back to pattern fill because there's another one that I want to upload again. and I'm going to do upload pattern and drag and drop as well. This one is a digital paper. The other one was just a regular bookmark design. All right, so there's this one. This one is done. I just really like this color scheme. That was pretty much it. Hit upload, and that should take us right back to where we were here in a second. I don't know, creative design space has been acting funny for me today. So let me hit cancel, and then we're gonna try that one more time, see if it works. So let's drag and drop. It said it uploaded successfully, so maybe it did, and it was just being slow. All right, so we'll cancel that and see if it uploads, but if it doesn't, it's not a big deal. Okay, it said it uploaded, so we should be good. Now, what we're gonna do is we're going to go, instead of, most of the time you're very familiar with this portion right here where you just change your colors and things like that, and then here you do basic cut. So now what we are actually going to do, we are going to go here to advance. And this is where I say I always get kind of confused because I'm so used to just dragging and dropping all my stuff. So really important for this next few steps to work. And this is why I always say that I find it much easier to use Silhouettes programming versus Cricut, because it's additional steps that I wasn't familiar with. Now, so now you click on here, you click on your template, and you're going to drop down where it says operation. You have to click on print then cut, because until you make this a print then cut, you won't be able to get the next option, which is basically when you click on your color scheme right here, you'll be able to get the print type. And let me show you why, because let's go to basic cut, and you'll see that it doesn't add anything additional to here. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna do print then cut, and then we're going to click on color, drop that down to where it says pattern. And now you're gonna see all the patterns that Cricut has. In case you weren't familiar with that, these are all free, and you're just literally just going to double click on it and it's going to fill it in. Most of these are still Christmas theme and so on and so forth, but you guys can play with it once you are in here. All right, so for this one, we're going to click on this one first. Just double click it. See, because I did them twice earlier. Now that's how it looks. Now I'm gonna click on there, and then I'm gonna zoom in for you guys so that you guys can be able to see better and see how it fills in all around the circle and everything else. But these circles are a little too small. I don't like the way it looks. So I'm gonna go back into the drop down for where it says pattern, and we're going to edit the pattern. And you'll see where it comes up with the screen on the side, and where it says scale, we are going to adjust the scale. We're going to make it a little bit, the image is a little bit bigger, because I want them to pop a little bit more, and then we're going to just exit that out. Let me zoom back out so you guys can get the whole scope. And for me, that looks a lot better. Of course, you can go as small as you want, like this, but that would make me go cross-eyed, of course. But then let's go back, and you can make it like this. And then these are just positional locators. So if you want, you can move the pattern however you wish. So actually, let me make this here, and then we're gonna go back and edit the pattern, and I'll show you how to use these in our next design. All right, so we'll close this back out, and we are going to duplicate this one because we're gonna need actually the background. So we're going to move this one over. I don't know if I'm gonna print this one yet because I really want to do the other one. All right, so on this one, you have to double click because a single click won't make it do anything. All right, so this one is not aligned, but if I had just dragged and dropped the image, it would have actually came in perfectly. So we're going to go in and do a little editing. So we'll do edit pattern, and here we'll just bring the scale, and actually let me see how it looks exactly on my other screen. We'll bring the scale actually a little bit bigger. I need it bigger. And then here's where you adjust this way. So make it go left a little bit, and I need it a little bit smaller. See, it doesn't let you adjust it here, but then I need to bring this down anyway. And then I'll make the image, I'll blow the image up as well. This version, doing it this way is just a little bit more tedious if you're working with an image that has, well, that's already an image, so it's easier to just drag and drop your image like I was doing earlier. But this is what it'll look like when you're done. And if you're okay with that, you can always move this a little bit more because of the wording. Now if I had just simply dragged and dropped that one, so we're gonna do upload the image and I'll show you the difference. And apply and continue, and then we're just going to do a print and cut and upload, and now add to canvas, and I'll show you what it looks like from there. And then we're just going to unlock this and change it to a 2x7, and there you have it, just like so. The main difference is that this already has the circle for your sublimation blank already installed, pre-done on the image, so that gives you an advantage to that. But I think I did a pretty good job matching it to exactly where it would sit. It just seems a little, yeah, they're a little bigger, but I can probably still adjust that if I saw fit. So I can just do this a little bit smaller, and then actually, let's make this a little bit bigger. Probably right there. And then it takes a little while for it to adjust to the change. And now that I don't like the way that looks, but you guys kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to do at this point, and just readjust it. I think I'm gonna leave it right there and then go there. All right, now there it is. So see, it still looks almost the same, but I actually prefer this version over this version anyway, so we're just going to go with that. But now that I've given you both ways to upload images, I'm going to delete this one, and then we are going to actually just, I'm actually going to just do these two. All right, so I'm going to save. So when you go to print, instead of me saving right away, all you're going to do is just hit make it. And I don't mirror on mine because I have a Sawgrass sublimation printer, so mine will automatically be set to mirror once I get to my printer, what is it called? My printer details. So I'm just going to walk you through that really quick. So here are both of my images. I can always just change my paper to a smaller paper, but I'm not going to do that on here right at the moment. And I won't mirror now. Depending on your printer, if you need to mirror, go ahead and do so. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to just hit continue, and again I'm going to do send to printer, and I always use system dialog, and I'm going to turn off the bleed. For sublimation projects, you absolutely do not need the bleed, because the bleed is just to give you a fuzzy edge, which you won't need. And then I'm just going to hit, actually I need to change my printer to the Sawgrass SG500. That's an important step. Always make sure that you select the right printer, and then system dialog. Now if it doesn't come up right here, look on your behind your design space to find it. Mine is probably on my other screen, actually my other monitor, and there it is right there. Let me move that out the way and then bring this back so you guys can see that. There's my system dialog right here. So what I'm going to do, it says it's already on Sawgrass and all my default settings is already set, so I'll just have to hit print and it'll open up my Sawgrass printer information, and it's printing. So actually I should not have hit print. I should have hit another button, but we'll walk through it again on another setup. So it's okay. So basically, let me do this. I can hit cancel, and then show you that step one more time. We'll hit continue. And then once this comes up, we'll hit send to printer and then use system dialog, print, and then let's find the printer system dialog. Right there it is right there. And I need to change from my printer settings, which I always forget. So whatever you do, do not forget this step, because I don't know how many times as I'm working with my sublimation printer, I always forget that I need to come down to where it says PDF and actually do Sawgrass Print Manager. And it opens my Sawgrass Print Manager on another screen, and then I'll work from there. As soon as mine opens up, we'll be able to find it. And I still don't see it. And then we'll just go ahead. There it is right here. Just takes a little bit longer. So my image will come in here and it's already mirrored. That's why I say I don't mirror from Cricut. I just mirror from here because it's automatically set. So for my layout, my colors are already, everything's already set. If you have Sawgrass and you want to see what my colors are, this is how I do my colors. So you can screenshot and match if you want to. And then that's pretty much all I'm doing here. You can change this here. And actually I want to change it to, I'm just gonna put it on stainless steel. Do I want to change it to stainless? I just put it on metal actually, because that's what it's going on. And then that is all we're doing for here. And then I always leave it on high quality, and that's it. And then we just hit print. That's all I'm doing, because the one that probably is going to print the first time is actually not going to be mirrored. It's going to be wrong, and the colors are going to look very different. So actually, I'm not going to print this one. I'll print this one much later, and that's going to be that. And then let's go ahead, while we're still here, let's go ahead and talk about our next one. So I'm just going to cancel this cut, cancel everything that we were working on, make sure everything is saved. And then let's work on our next project. So we are going to go back to my stuff and we are going to open up this image and customize it. And then of course, like, I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you guys can see this better. And I downloaded this image as well from, it was either Creative Fabric or Design Bundles, I'm not sure, but this as well, the template was as well. Now I did the initial step for this coming out of Silhouette Studio. And the reason for that is because I have not taught myself how to remove this white background. And for you, it might not bother you to have this white paper background because you're already putting it on a white metal bookmark, so it might not be an issue. But for me, it was really bothering me, and I really didn't want this color scheme that was on here. I wanted it to be blue, so I went ahead and used my Silhouette Studio format and changed it there. But I won't teach you guys that process unless you guys really want to learn how to do a trace and remove the background, because when I tried to remove the background, let me show you how that ended up. Let me find this image again on my side and then I'll come back. Actually, let me see if I can create that image. Let me go back to my design bookmarks and I'm gonna show you why it was not working for me. I tried to remove that background. Let me see if I can replicate this for you guys really quickly. And probably now I can't find the image that I'm looking for because, okay, that is how things work. All right, so I'm gonna do upload image and I'm gonna drag this one in and we're gonna do complex. And then when I tried to do background removal, I did this and I wasn't sure. You see how the bottom writing, it did not look good. So let me see if I can, it disappeared. It was not complete. It did not look like it was gonna work. So that's why I opted to just leave it alone. Even when I tried to do it manually, it was not working for me. So you can always do this yourself if you want to. Well, now it actually looks better. But so here, I just taught you guys something that I didn't even do because I'm so used to just using Cameo that, but see, for me, this is a little more tedious. So here you guys go. Yay, we learned something new. Let me zoom back in. Let me make sure I get the lips. And here, right here. Now you gotta go make sure that everything white is out. I gotta zoom back in to make sure that I'm getting everything. Uh-oh, we learned a new trick. Now, I've done this before on here, but I didn't think to do it when I was prepping for this video. Now, this is gonna be real tedious. Right there, I got it. Right here, there. And I think I got, nope. Right when I said that, and right here. Oh, right there. Okay. Oh, wait. If I miss a piece, okay, right here, it might just be okay. I think we got it all. Let me zoom back out. And we good. Yay! See what happens when I do tutorials? We figure some things out. All right, so let's make sure our selection is good and it looks good enough. So this is what it would look like if you do the cut, but we're not doing that. We're doing a print then cut, and we're going to upload. And let's see, so we're gonna use this one. We're gonna add it to Canvas. We are going to delete this one because this one has the white background and we don't want the white background. So actually, this is the one that I did in Silhouette, and look how it actually looks really nice. So we are going to shrink this one just a tad bit so that you guys can be able to see. That doesn't look half bad. And the reason why I brought it back in here from Silhouette Studio was because I wanted a thinner line. So what we're going to do, we're going to shrink this one, but I don't want it, I want it to be a different color. So let's do color, and I do want it to be blue. And that is exactly, and see, we missed this one right here. But I think I will be okay. And we actually want a darker blue. I want a darker blue at least, more like this blue. All right, so we are going to leave it there. And then for this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay it here, and let's see, what is this? I'm gonna ungroup because I just want to see what size did I use for this one. 1.5, 1.2. I just want to make sure that it's the same. 203. I want it because I already did all that labor. 2781. And let's put it back. I'm gonna take this off the guide and make it white. Basic. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can get a better view of that. And I think I can make it a little bit bigger. Just stretch it out just a tad bit. And there we go. Now I did miss this E and this E, but they were really small. Okay, so I think that's good. Let's align it to make sure that I like it. And align, ooh, didn't mean to do that one. Let's see, I think we'll do that. And then it looks good for my eye, and I'm happy. Now let's zoom back out, and that is how you do that. So inadvertently, I taught you it better on this one. I think this one I might have had, a different outline for it. I think I thickened the lines. So what you can do, because the lines are really thin here, I might just create an offset just to make it thicker. If not, I'm gonna leave it the same. But the process is still the same. Let's eliminate this, eliminate that. And let's say we wanted to do both of these. We hit make it. Actually, not that. We actually want to do a print and cut for these, and that's why it looks like that. And then we're gonna go make it. And for this one, I would really use the smaller sheet of paper, but it's okay for that because this one won't let you go any smaller anyway. So let's do continue. Select your printer, and always remember to take off this, change your printer to your whatever printer that you use. In my case, is the Sawgrass. Use the system dialog and hit the print, and then it'll open up my system dialog behind mine. Here's my system dialog right here. I'm trying to move it out of the way. And there we go. And what's gonna happen for me is I can change my paper from here if I want to, or I can change it within the system dialog itself. So just for giggles, let's see if I can find it, and I don't see it on here, but it's okay. So you can always do a custom size as well. So we'll here in print manager. Wait a second for it to open up for me, and here it is right here. And we're going to change it to metal, and it selects it, it pulls it right here. And I of course will be changing mine to match my paper size later on, and then we'll print. So now that we're all done here, we'll go ahead and meet back up on the top down camera. All right, so we're back to our overhead view. Now I want to make a correction on one of the information that I gave you guys during the tutorial. For my bookmarks, I gave you the incorrect measurement, so that's why you see this is printed out way too big. The correct measurement should have been 1.4 wide by 4.9 high. So when I realized this, when I printed these out, I was like, why are these so big? And that's when I realized that I should have, but anyway, those are some of the mistakes that we make when we do when we're doing our own crafting. Now, you might not be able to tell, maybe I need to change the camera, the lighting, but on this one, this is the first one that I accidentally printed out when I was doing the tutorial. You see how it's not mirrored because I didn't use my system settings. Like I showed you in the video, in the tutorial, I always switch to my sublimation printer settings. So here it is, this one, not mirrored. So basically we won't even be able to use this one at all. And here it is when I printed it again the second time. And I hope that you can be able to see. Let me switch this light off and it'll probably be a little bit more clear, I think. Let's try to turn that light off and I'll be right back. All right, so here it is. I turned off the other light. The ring light was a little too yellow. So when you look at these, this is the oops print, and then this is the one that I should have printed from the beginning. And you'll see that the coloring is a little bit different. This one, the colors don't come out quite as vibrant as you'll see on this print right here. I'm trying to move my box out of the way. So let me move this a little closer. And you see how the print colors vary quite differently on the two images. See, let me see if I can put these. No, I probably won't be. Yeah, there we go. So how this one, the colors are not what they should be. So this one is a whole lot better. The background is just wrong on this one, which is the oopsie print. But yeah, hopefully you guys can see that. And then even with this one, the colors are off just a little bit. So that's why you should use your print settings, because then if you have all your color settings correctly, everything will come out the way it should be. Now we're gonna put this one to the side. It didn't matter that I wrote on this one because we're gonna cut all this off. But this one's too big, so I'm gonna have to find something to use this for. I'm not sure what. So I did have to go back and reprint it, and you see how much better they still came out. And there we have it. All right, so what we're going to do, I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. And also I wanted to talk about my print, how I sublimate when I'm doing my projects. So when I have, my sister and I created this Excel spreadsheet type thing, and we have all our settings for different vinyls, and this is for our Cameo settings, and then this is our HTV settings, and then this one is basically when we're doing sublimation. Now I am going to sublimate at 490 for 40 seconds. I usually don't go up to I think it's 400 that a lot of subtracts ask for, but I found that that tends to burn my materials, or in other words, overcook it. So what I'm going to show you why I'm going to use that. So if you go to your heat setting, if you go to Cricut on your mobile device, it's the same as if you do it on your laptop or anything of the sort. You're going to hit these three buttons down here, and then you're just going to click on more, and then it's going to show up the option for your heat guide. So we're just going to click on heat guide, and then what I'm going to do is, because Cricut doesn't have sublimation, but it does have infusible ink, which is pretty much Cricut's version of sublimation. So we're going to use the infusible ink transfer sheet. I hope you guys can see that. I'm going to click on that, and then the base material for me, the closest thing that I found for what I'm going to be doing for these bookmarks is going to be the aluminum sheet. So we're just going to click on that, and then we're going to say that we're using the Cricut pressing mat. I wonder if I hit no, it doesn't give you the option to hit no. So even though I usually don't use that mat, and then it says for us to do 385 for 40 seconds. So you'll see my settings are not very far off. Let me make sure I don't ruin this. Okay. My settings are not very far off from this one, but we're going to use the heat press instead of we're going to use the Cricut heat press instead of my big heat press so that you guys can see. I haven't been able to set up my camera so you guys can see the actual press, but I think it'll be easier for us to do it on here anyway. So I'm going to set this to the side, and I just wanted to talk to you guys briefly about that as well. So let me grab my heat press because I didn't even take it out, and then we'll start separating these and then get started. All right, so I am going to just use my 6x6. If you guys don't have this one, you can use the bigger one that you have. It's perfectly fine for a project this size. Again, I usually don't use these because I like the pressure of my big heat press. So we're gonna do 390. Let's get that two up there. And then, so 390, and we're doing 40 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna let that set and warm up, and then what we're going to do is go ahead and grab a pair of scissors and get to cutting. I'm going to trim this a little closer to the edge. Now when I did my measurements, I went back in and I did them a little bit bigger for it to fit. You might always want to consider making your image a little bit bigger when you're doing smaller projects. Not when you're doing t-shirts or anything like that, but just for when you're doing projects like these. Just so that the image can be bigger so that it'll fit. You'll have a better chance of it fitting where it needs to fit, and then whatever blowout it has when you're pressing, it'll be okay. You guys already know I can't cut in a straight line. That's my press telling me that sheet is ready to go. Okay, so let's clean this up to the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our materials. Just need 2 of those, and then this one. All right, so I had to get interrupted, but because we're working on a project for a friend of the family's for her son that's graduating high school, and our puppy is in here. Well, he's not really a puppy, he's about 5 years old, but he's in here being all sick or something, so probably gonna have him seen soon. It's just so much. My daughter's not feeling well, and you know, she just had a meet. It's just like mommy life is never over. All right, so we've got the substracts or the materials that we need. Now, when you're doing sublimation, usually everything that you sublimate, materials like this, they'll have a plastic coat on top of them, and you have to remember to take them off. Like this one, you can't even tell that it's on there. It just looks really scratchy, doesn't it? This one too just looks perfect and scratchy and nothing else. But this one, you can obviously see it because the plastic is elevated. So you're just gonna take your weeding tool or something semi-sharp. If you can do it with your nail, just be very careful and pull that off, just like so. And that is it. Because so many people forget that it's on there, and then they'll sublimate right over the plastic and it won't even work. So with this one, we'll do the same thing. It's funny, you get these weeding tools and then you end up using them for everything in addition to what you're supposed to use them for, but they sure come in handy. So mine looks like a hot mess right now. So let's just grab a corner of this one and peel the plastic off. If I can get the plastic on there. And don't tell me this one doesn't have one. Uh-oh. Let's see. I can feel it. After you've done these for a while, you can start feeling when it has a coat on it. But it doesn't want to come off. All right, I have been struggling with this one for about a good 10 minutes. I took it to my husband and he was like, I don't think there's anything on here. So what we are going to do, we are going to work on it as is. And then, my machine is telling me that I left it along too long. So if it happens to have a coating on it beforehand, we will find this out together. That way, when you buy it, just know that it is very hard to see if it has anything on it. So that's why I'm going to do the test with you guys on camera, and we will work this out. All right, so I'm bringing in my mat that my husband made for me a while ago. And actually, I was going to use this. Let me see. But no, that's not going to work because it's too small. Because I want to try to do all 3 of them at the same time. So we are going to bring out regular size butcher paper that I also have bought in pre-cut sizes, so you guys can see. This one is this is 12 by 12. So usually these I use on my t-shirts. So we're just gonna grab one. We should be good with that, but we'll set it aside here for now. And then I am going to grab some sublimation tape. I have mine in this roll. You don't have to use this one per se. So what we're gonna do, I'll lay everything here. Actually, let me do it on my glass mat. Might be easier. Lay this one there. So you want your, I'm gonna just set this one right here. And then we are going to, actually I need to wipe this off because it has been manhandled by me. So just want them to be clean surface to start with, and then go from there. I keep thinking that there really is a coating on here, but man, to get that off, if it's an issue, I will probably not recommend that you guys buy this particular brand. So let's get our lint roller going. My nails are way too long right now. So we are going to lint roll this whole thing just to get any lint that's left and to prevent it from getting any blue marks on your project. So, okay, so we're gonna set this to the side. Now we're just gonna pick this up and we are going to try to set this on here to cover as much of it as possible. Now it doesn't bother me if the wording is inside the hole, the little spot, or if I need to move it up some, you know, it won't bother me at all because it's should look seamless anyway. So you just want to align it as best as you can, as much as you want, because you can also come down some to get more of the anime figure. Now I chose my designs because I love watching anime. So when you're making your bookmarks, try to find something that is something to your personality, and that's why I picked mine. And the design that I picked came from a bundle on, I want to say Etsy. So we're gonna tape this down. Make sure you're using heat resistant tape so that your image doesn't go anywhere. That's what we're gonna do here. And then little pieces on this side. I'm struggling because these nails are, it's time for them to go. I love getting my nails done, but man, I think I left them too long this time around. Okay, I need one more piece. I'm just gonna put right here. There. And then we're gonna do the same thing with this one. All right, and I think this one, I wanted to capture more of the design down here, not so much on top. It looks crooked. And this is why I say that if you make it a little bit wider on your design, it'll be perfect because then you can align your bookmark exactly where you want it. I think that looks good. Last one, so I'm gonna do it a little bit different because this one was more fitted. And actually, let me see something. Actually, I'm gonna cut off another piece of this. And then we're going to line it up right there. It's kind of why I think I prefer my heat press, because once I'm in there, it's going to be good. Now for the next step, you've already got your heat press ready to go, and what you want to do from now on is just grab your heat press, put it on there, but do not move a muscle. So I'm just gonna lay mine on here, and then I'm not even gonna touch it after that. Actually, let's do this. It's like you know the steps, and then when you're recording, you forget all the steps. And there's that. So I'm sandwiching mine in here. Okay. Now this is just to protect it from any blowout from the ink or anything of the sort. All right, now let's try this again. And we're gonna set this down. See? And press. I'm just gonna use some pressure because now I don't want this thing to glide. And hopefully it does not create any ghosting on my bookmarks, but we'll see. But the goal is to try your best to just not move. Lift it straight up, put it back on its base. All right, so I'm grabbing my heat gloves, which I feel like I haven't used in like an eternity because these are going to be extremely hot. So I opened up my window, pull this back, and I'm extremely impatient. So I want to see right away if these came out okay. So let's see. You can smell the ink. I love the reveal. Oh my gosh. I can't work with gloves on. This came out so pretty. Oh, I'm so excited. I probably should have let it cool off so I didn't have any gloves on. I might just do that. Look how pretty. She is stunning. And now I feel like I can see the edgings, but oh my gosh, I love her. Okay, hope you can read what that says. It says be gentle with yourself, which for me is a reminder of that every day, all day long. Look at this one. And see, when you have all the colors gone, that means it has been an extremely successful sublimation. This, I think, is going to be my favorite one. Let's get this tape off of here. You'd think I'd be used to working with gloves, but I don't wear gloves anymore. I almost got frostbite, literally, when I was in the military in Germany. I think they call it chilblain. It's the step before frostbite. And so, see what I mean? Gloves and me don't work very well. But I'll let you guys see this, and then we'll work on getting the rest of the tape off. But, let's put them right here. I love it. All right, and this is the blowout that I was saying that you need to protect your surface that you're working on. And here we go for the last one. Fingers crossed. Oh, that came out quick. Yes. Isn't it gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. All right, let's let this cool down. We'll take my gloves off and then we'll finish working. All right, so they've cooled off, at least enough that I can handle them. And I'm so excited. I hope you guys really learned something. All right, so this one was the one I was seriously worried about because I wasn't sure if it had the coating. My husband said it didn't, and it really doesn't look like it does, but look how pretty. I'm so excited. I got my first metal bookmarks. Now, I've sublimated before. I've just not made these bookmarks before, so I wanted to be you guys to have my first visual. All right, so that's what they look like. Aren't they gorgeous? All right, so let's take this off, and then we're going to grab decoration. So mine came with these stems. What are these, tassels? But because I have two different sets of stuff that I have purchased, but I don't think I want to use these. So what I also did was I was thinking of using these Chevron ribbon. I think this dark green one would go nice with this one, and with this one I might just do the blue. And then with this one, I think I'm going to use this pink one. All right, but before we do that, let's talk about the back of these. So I'm not a big fan of the back because they're very plain and boring. So these are one of the options that you can do when you're doing it before we do anything else. Actually, we'll talk while we decorate. Now, one of my options was I was thinking about taking HTV and putting HTV on the back of these. And you can do that to decorate the back, or you can grab some HTV as well and do the backing with your name or some kind of decoration on the back. Now, the reason why I say you can use the HTV is because you won't even have to worry about it reactivating the ink on your sublimation, because the temperature is going to be a whole lot cooler. Okay, so anywho, so if I want to put something on the back, because I'm not a fan of these backs, it's just a matter of me adding some HTV to it, and you won't be reactivating the ink because the temperature won't be at 390. It'll be at a 315, 320 for just a few seconds. All right, so we need one more, and I think I was gonna do this blue, right? We said blue? Yeah, I think I'm gonna just stick with the blue. It's enough of a contrast for me. And then we're just going to tie this into our design. Just need just a little bit, just to do something different from using our tassel now. All right, so let's do the blue. Oh, this one doesn't even have a puncture, so I don't even need that one. I just noticed that, like, duh. Okay, so we'll just put this one on then. I'm pretty sure that if I wanted to, I could probably make a bow with my crocodile. Let's try that out and see how that works. But first, let's get this on here. Doesn't have to be that long. Just trying to get it on here perfectly. And then we're just gonna create a knot. Do a double dot actually. Look how pretty that is. So very simple. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this crocodile that I've not used in forever, and we are going to attempt, let's see, a small hole right up here. And if I'm using this wrong, feel free to tell me, because y'all know I don't have no qualms with that. Oh my gosh, every time I use this, I feel like I always forget how to use it. Okay, so we are going to put this right. I'm not sure if it's in the center, but we're going to wing it. And that did not work at all. Well, probably not. I'm not even using this thing right. Sure ain't. Okay, so let's try the other side. Let's see, because, you know, we experiment around here. That's for sure. I think I should have used this side. Okay. We're committed. Ah, well, that went a lot better than I expected it to. Ah, well, learned something new today. I've had this thing forever and a day and just never bothered to take it out. I think I might have used it twice. Hence why you will forever see me struggling with it, even though I should not be. But we are here, we are learning, and we are doing our own thing on this channel. All right, let me get this in here, and well, I don't know what's going outside, but I think I can get this in here. Yep, let's use our pen tool to get this through. I think that's good. No, or not. There we go. There. Okay. Not so bad, not so bad, not so bad, not so bad. Tie these knots off. Of course, if you don't have the chiffon, don't go out of your way to get this. This was just something that I've had and not used as well, and we're trying to do everything to use up some of our supplies, and I get to experiment with all the touches and stuff with you guys. Let's do some cleanup and we can look at these at the end. All right, so we are done. I am so super ecstatic about these. Now you guys have seen how easy they are to make from start to finish. Look at this one. I think this one's my favorite, even though this should have been my favorite, but I don't know if the camera is giving them any justice, but they came out so pretty. And even this one that I was scared on whether or not it had the coating on here, so far it is so simple. But here they are. If you guys have any questions on what we've done in the process that we've done today, let me know in the comments and I will do my very best to answer any of your questions. So thank you for watching this video with me, and as always, you guys have a great, wonderful day.